have you as well. I'll have a look at this old radio again. So yeah, I've got all my parts ordered, they're on their way. So yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to take it out of its, take the chassis out. I've already took all the screws and everything out. Very carefully if I can, very carefully. So be very careful with these old sets, because you've got these tubes you don't want to dislodge too much. Very picky when I get to this part. It's where it gets hard. I want to. Yeah, these little tabs here tend to grab and they lock behind here. Then this solder snaps off and this gets loose, which I'll have to resolder that now. I have to resolder that so that's stiff again. This is our earth connection. This is an external antenna connection. It's our power transformer. There's our speaker, which is made by a company called Roller. The product of Roller Co. Australia Limited, Richmond, Victoria, Australia. There's a transformer for it, which is also made by Roller, which also that's the audio transformer. It's all in very good condition. It's just slight dust. There's a ball bearing behind there in that capacitor. That's something I didn't know, I didn't see. Cool. Yeah, it's all in very good condition. There's no it's only just slight dust. Like it's been sitting inside, indoors and protected, so it's good. The transformer's good, that's not shorted. Now, all it does is hum, that's it, no radio whatsoever. So if you get an old radio and it does that, turn it off, because any of these tubes in the power supply circuit can easily be damaged from that. So yeah, these are mini watt brand tubes. It's a 5 tube set. There's the IF cans. Hopefully the capacitors aren't bad in them, because yeah, they're going to be a nightmare to pull apart. And this little connection here is for a pickup, like a record player, the old types. And we have a look at the underside, or the front. Heavy too. We've got tone, on. Tone that's 4 ball, and you've got maximum tone. Our volume's in the middle. There's our tuner. There's a speaker. Not a tear on it, it's in very good condition. Yeah, it is a Kriesler model 1181. And this is what our there's no numbers here, it's just a bunch of codes for each state. I've got a new set of dial amps. So yeah, that one there was actually blown. And that one there was working. Yeah, that one there was actually burnt out, so they're tapped in off a tube, so it's important that you replace them too. Yeah, because it might do damage to the tubes, I read. But yeah, some radios, it's critical that these bulbs are replaced and working. So yeah, it's all metal. This is gold plated metal, and this is just paper. This whole bit here is all strong plastic. So yeah, this set's from 1958. So yeah, I don't know where Mildura will be on this, but once I get it working I'll soon find out. There's no slipping on the dial cord. There's our tuning capacitor. Yeah, the speaker's all in one piece, there's no tears or cracks or anything like that. The audio transformer was patented in 1962, so don't know why, if it's a 1958 set, that's from 1962, so it's strange how that's dumped. Not everything's dated the same. But yeah, the speaker on the other hand, let's see what date that dates back to. Just very carefully lay this over. Hold this. Let's see, there's a little patent on the speaker here. Patent number, the latest one, 166,546/53. So that must be 1953 that speaker was made. So yeah, be very careful when you work with cheap electronics. Now I can lay this back, and it's going to lean on these little brackets that hold this AM bar antenna. There's nothing getting damaged, so that's good. Now I've got my parts on order. I'm going to be replacing this electrolytic and this main one, which I know for sure it's bad, because it's not filtering out anything whatsoever, it's just humming. that resistor was also getting hot, but I was lucky I shut it off, I left it off and never touched it ever since. I plugged it in as soon as it started humming, that's it, stop. Because 99% of the time it's these electrolytics, mainly these power supply ones, are going to be taken out and replaced. The resistor there is still okay, that's still well within tolerance, so that's good. And the dial lamp wires, if you follow the wire from there, it goes back around there and taps into pin 4 of this tube. And this other dial lamp, which comes out from this brown wire and goes to pin 4 of this tube. So yeah, I'll be doing replacing these electrolytics, and if all goes good I'll test it. If it's fine, that's good. But I'm also going to be changing these wax paper capacitors, because they're not likely to be good either. They may still work okay, but it's best to replace them. I've also got the little box of heat shrink tubing, which yeah, this is just hose on here. The modern ones are just use heat shrink tubing all the way. So yeah, it's not going to be too hard to repair. The resistors are all okay. Yeah, it's got wooden dial cord pulleys. Dial cords are not slipping or anything, everything's good there. So these are G-Con brand capacitors, made in Australia. That's 8 microfarad, 300 working volts. VP is 350, so I'm going to put an 8 microfarad at 450. Higher the voltage, the better. Same with this one. There's little these capacitors here are okay. So they're good. Have a look at this. Now I'll put this back up right. It's very clean for its age. So yeah, I have to re-solder that down and tighten that screw down again. As you can see, it's just, yeah, I've cracked the solder. But that's not going to do much change in the performance. So yeah, it's nothing much to this set. Pretty basic little thing. The only thing I don't have for this is a schematic. That would have been real helpful. But yeah, there's a little power switch there at the back. The cords are fine, and nothing wrong with the cord. Checked everything. Nothing is shorted, so hopefully all I do is change the capacitors. Once I get this thing working fine electrically, I'm going to move on to the case and polish it and just do the cosmetic side of it. But yeah, it's obviously a medium wave, or AM radio, so that's what I had back in the 50s and early in the 60s. So yeah, there's actual antenna there. And here to look at the case, which that all cleaned out. The cloth is in very good condition. Polish that tuning, that window there, it's plastic. This is a modern plastic housing. And there's a model number 1181, made in Australia by Kriesler Australia, Proprietary Limited. Now there's a copy of this stick I've got to get offline to replace this half here, which I just, yeah, refer to that because this one is half torn. It uses a 6AN7, 6N8 and something else is there, somewhere that's not mentioned, which is on the spare one of these. 6AQ5 or 6V4, so yeah, these tubes, these radio sets were pretty common back then, so getting parts like tubes or something like that shouldn't be too hard, although they are going to get harder to find. So yeah, power goes straight to your transformer, so it's isolated, but it still is a live chassis set. So yeah, it's best to have this thing sitting on a rubber mat, have an insulated screwdriver to operate your controls while you're testing it on the bench, because I don't have an isolation transformer, so I'm going to have to use when I'm repairing it, I have to set it on a rubber insulated mat, and these insulated screwdrivers to operate the controls, because I can get a screwdriver in those little slots and operate them. So yeah, when I get the parts I'll do a videos for you, and you can, yeah, I'll show you it brought back to life, and yeah, we'll go from there. So thanks for watching.